Nurture and support begins in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, everybody, to another glorious episode of Nurture and Support, where we share all the awesome since 2013, as Kelly likes to say. I am Mel at Karmic9, and speaking of Kelly, there he is.
Hi, everybody. It's Kelly Tool at KELLYTHUL on Twitter. And I only always say it because you said it first. And so Mel is the creator of Sharing All the Awesome, which I think is a really fun little tagline. So, so we will just have to share all the part of the awesome today. We'll share little bits of the awesome today, but over time we will share all the awesome.
We are piecemealing out the awesome so that you have to listen to us longer. So, I think we're just going to jump right in this week and get started. I have a recommendation that I just love. Y'all got a taste of my taste in old movies before, and here's another old movie for you. Kelly, have you seen Warlock with Julian Sands and Laurie Singer and Richard Grant?
I haven't seen Warlock with them or anybody else.
Okay. I love this movie, and I watched it again the other day, and I had forgotten just how much I love this movie. Warlock, its byline is, he's come from the past to destroy the future. And if any of you are familiar with Julian Sands' work, he might not be the best actor out there, but he's always enjoyable. He's something of a pretty boy. He's got a nice accent. Chicks like him. And especially this movie was back in 1991, according to my DVD case. Now, unfortunately, this movie is not available on Netflix. I couldn't find it anywhere for free or one of the streaming services. You can rent it from Amazon and I would imagine from iTunes as well. But you're going to have to pay some money, folks. You're not going to be able to get on Netflix and watch it, which is very disappointing to me. It is also not available on Blu-ray. It's only available on DVD. But the story is pretty simple. It starts out in, I believe, the year 1691, and Richard Grant plays a very hairy, he's in an outfit that kind of reminds me now, like, of Hagrid. He's in a big pelts, a coat covered in animal pelts, and baggy pants and stompy boots. And he's in this little Puritan village where I caught this time around at the very beginning of the movie, there's a little peasant guy putting some cats in a basket. And then as you watch these Puritan elders marching through town, everybody's like, oh no, they're up to no good, and they're backing away and pulling their women and children away from these old men. And then you see this guy go and put this basket you've just seen him stuffing cats into on top of this big bonfire. Bunch of sticks that are getting ready, you imagine, to be lit. And you're like, why are they going to possibly be burning cats? And I am not down with this. I missed this the first time around. I am not down with the burning of cats in baskets.
Way to take a stand, Mel. Good job.
Absolutely. I was going to go, I'm going to turn this movie off right now, and it's going to be an unrecommendation if they're going to be burning cats. However, when they get to their destination, there is Julian Sands in all of his long-haired blonde glory, crouching on the floor with his, I don't know what you call him. I should have actually looked him up. His thumb, I believe it's his thumbs, and his big toes manacled together. So he's sitting there crouched up, chained up in this room. And obviously he's being accused of witchcraft. He refuses to repent and confess his sins. And so they're going to burn him as a witch on a bonfire with live cats. I suppose this is some old-timey, we're going to banish the witch by burning her with cats.
Or it's a witch seasoning, a very rare cat. You
Yes.
do a little bit of cat with your witch, I guess.
Yes, I am still not down with this, but luckily for the cats, Richard Grant comes in, and his name in the movie is Giles Redfern. And he's admonishing these elders of what they need to do. He's telling them that they need to burn him and bury him, and then they have to wait so long to make sure he's really dead before they dig him up and get his toe cuffs back, because he wants his toe cuffs back. But in the end, our nice little warlock, Julian Sands, with the power of Satan and deviltry, he is transported to the wonderful present time of 1991. Unfortunately, as Giles Redfern runs to try to recapture him, he also gets sucked into this little time vortex, and he gets dumped into 1991. And somehow they go from Boston to California, and he wakes up in the valley in California in 1991. And things are very interesting. He gets taken in by, and this is the Warlock, he gets taken in by Laurie Singer's character. And for any of you who don't recognize the name Laurie Singer, she was the lead actress in Footloose. The original Footloose, not whatever this recent remake thing they've done is. The original Footloose with Kevin Bacon. Laurie Singer is the preacher's daughter. She's also in another show that I may end up recommending at some time called VR5, which I think we've talked about off the air.
Off the air, yes.
Yes, yeah. That's a series that I liked back in the day, but I haven't watched it actually as an adult, so it might have changed. So she is Kassandra with a K.
Fancy.
Yes, yes. And this is 1991 in California, and she wears midriff-bearing sweaters and tiny little mini skirts, sparkly mini skirts. And anyway, things go from bad to worse. They run into the Warlock. The Warlock, in the midst of a whole bunch of other stuff, curses her. And Richard Grant's character, Redfern, ends up tracking her down as he's chasing the Warlock, trying to recapture him. And she gets sucked into, to get the curse taken off of her, to have to help him. Now, the curse that is so awful that she's trying to escape, I thought was very 1990s. What is the worst possible curse that could happen to a 20-year-old girl in California?
Her hair falls out.
Close. Very close. That would have happened eventually. Makes her old. She ages 20 years every day. So she will die of old age very quickly. But the night after her curse, she wakes up with all of this long, long, ratty hair and these long fingernails, and she looks in the mirror and, oh my God, she's 40.
Oh no.
It was a nightmare. It was the
Only
worst
imagine.
possible thing that you could do to this girl. So I thought that was funny. In the end, you find out. I'm gonna spoil the story for all of you, everyone, since it's been out since 1991. You've had plenty of time to watch it. What the Warlock is after is the Grand Grimoire, which is the grand Bible of these Satan-worshipping witches. And he is promised by none other than Satan himself that if he recovers the Grand Grimoire, he will make him his only begotten son. I kind of thought that wasn't really what begotten meant, but that's okay.
I actually have no idea what begotten means, but
I don't know. I don't know, but I also, kind of thought it would one begotten son. There's a great band name for you.
Excellent.
Redfern also has a very nifty little thing to track the Warlock called a witch compass that I thought was quite amusing. But anyway, things go from bad to worse as they're chasing the Warlock down. The Warlock does some pretty bad things, but it was the 90s, folks. They didn't show a lot of the bad stuff in the scenes. There are some eyeballs and some blood, but it's not really anything bad by today's standards. So I don't even know, what was it? It was rated R back in 1991.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
I'm not sure that it would actually be rated R today, but
we got a little tougher.
We've toughened up some in a few years, but I just absolutely love this movie. It's full of so much old California in the 90s stereotypes. And Richard Grant, I don't know how to describe Richard Grant to anybody who doesn't know who I'm talking about. He has been in pretty much everything that any of you can possibly imagine. You would recognize him if you saw him, and he was so young in this movie. But he's also in one of my other favorite movies, which I determine I will talk about at some time, and I'm going to spoil it for you right now.
Boy, this is like a spoiler central for you today.
It is. Hudson Hawk.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I love Hudson Hawk, and looking at all of this reminded me of that, and I'm like, oh, totally, I'm going to have to bring up Hudson Hawk at some time. If Kelly loves Hudson Hawk as much as I do, we might have to do a whole show on Hudson Hawk.
Hudson Hawk show.
I love that movie. Bruce Willis singing, what can you say? So
yeah, we'll have to figure out whether it's we did our Breaking Bad show. We'll have to figure out what thing lucks out next. A couple candidates. Hudson Hawk's a good one. That's a good choice.
Yes, I love Hudson Hawk. But Richard Grant is in that. He usually plays these, basically the character that he plays in Hudson Hawk, these quirky, weird, spastic, neurotic people. Usually he is not a good guy. He is the good guy in this movie. And he did a very good job. I think in this entire movie, he's the only one that you could say actually has an acting career. But I did, in looking up a few things for this, I have to digress just another little bit. I know I've digressed a lot here. Laurie Singer, her IMDb lists her as a cellist.
No.
It does. So I am going to have to look up some Laurie Singer cello music. And I might have to bombard all of you with that in the future. Let me see. One of my favorite lines from the movie is Kassandra with a K tells Redfern, she says this to him, ask me anything. I took 2 years of high school. So that's how you know it's a winner, folks.
That's a keeper.
Yes.
There you go.
So Warlock from 1991, starring Julian Sands, Laurie Singer, and Richard E. Grant. I think y'all will love it if you haven't seen it already. And if you have seen it, watch it again, because as you get close to that 40 mark, it becomes a lot different.
The horror of 40 is a little different feel.
Yeah, you don't find 40 so horrifying like it was back when I watched that. Oh gosh, 40. That's awful. I'm actually looking at it going, she doesn't look bad for 40.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
So, Warlock, check it out, folks.
Cool.
You are going to have to pay money to watch it, but I honestly suggest used bookstores that carry DVDs. They probably have this at some point, or the dollar bins somewhere, because you really shouldn't have to pay a whole lot for this movie. But it's for rent on Amazon Instant Video if you have a burning need to run out and stream it right now.
Which I'm sure they'll be tempted, but perhaps you can wait until my recommendation before you run out and stream it. But I'm sure they will right away. So it does sound fun. I guess we'll go ahead and go into mine. Mine is, gosh, what are we going to call this? I think this would fall in the service category in our little taxonomy of types of things. It's a website that enables you to do something. And so while Nurture and Support knows no time frame, and we try not to do too many contemporary references in terms of when we do it, just because depending when the show comes out, when you listen to it and all that. The World Cup had just gone on here recently, and like all good Americans, I'm fairly unfamiliar and find certain things about soccer amusing, like the ridiculous overacting they do when people bump into each other, and oh, I don't think I can get up, and all those types of things. But the thing that I've always really enjoyed about soccer, I found intriguing, was the card concept. The fact that depending on your behavior, you can get a yellow card or you can get a red card, or those types of things. So this app is related to that. It is a website that will allow you, yes, you, the listener, to give people penalty cards. And it is called, surprisingly enough, PenaltyCards.com is the name of the website. And it's a very simple, basic site that lets you go in and pick out a green card, a red card, a yellow card, or a black card. And then...
So explain to me what the colors on these cards mean, because we all know Mel doesn't do sports, the sports ball. Melissa doesn't do the sports ball.
Well, so I think the creator took some liberties with the assignment, but the basic gist is, as given my high degree of soccer knowledge, is the yellow card is you were bad, and if you're bad again, you're out of here. So take 2 yellow cards and they boot you. So yellow card, kind of like you think caution, warning. They'll call a foul in soccer, but if you it's like a flagrant foul. In basketball, there's a foul, and then there's okay, their team gets the ball or whatever. But then if there's like a little extra to it, then you could get a yellow card. And if you get 2 yellow cards, you're out of the game in soccer or out of the match. Red card is instant ejection. From there, you are gone from there. I'm unclear whether there is a black card, but it seemed like there should be. so
that's an instant death card.
It's just like you are truly a horrible, horrible person kind of card. And then the green card. That's the
card where they're gonna haul you off and burn you over a basket of live cats.
They'll put you in with some cats and cook you up right away. I think that's what happens with the black card. And then the green card is just that thumbs up, way to go. Which there are no green cards in soccer, but they are available on the site, and so you can go pick any of the cards you like. You can grab the actual URL of the particular card page and just drop it in somewhere, or there's nice little share buttons on the bottom. It integrates really well with Facebook, so if you want to start green carding and yellow carding and red carding people on Facebook, the site works really well for that. You can mention the person and get it to their timeline. You can drop the URL right in a comment line, and the preview comes in and the card shows up, so it looks really nice. And is pretty effective there. The Twitter integration's not great, but Twitter's a little funky about images outside of Twitter, but you can still pass the cards on, and you can do it with it's other things there. But I of course did my research on this site, and so let me tell you a little bit about how this came about. So apparently the creator of the site works in an office, and it was during the World Cup, and before a meeting there was someone who offended this individual, and they said, that's it, just kind of jokingly said, that's a yellow card for you, or it had like a post-it or yellow card, so something like that. And so everybody kind of laughed about that, and then it started to become a thing during the day. And then there was a discussion on whether, wouldn't it be great if there was a website where you could do this really easy? Or the other theory that came up at that point was to step away from all these cards and just come up with a Trump card, which would be a yellow card with Donald Trump's face on it. And you would just give people a Trump card when they were horrible. Just kind of, because that would be kind of a universal symbol of horribleness from there. So I can give all that detailed background on the site's creation because I created this site. This is Kelly's site. So PenaltyCards.com is something that I created on a whim after the very conversation I talked to you about in the office, and it came about, and I said, there ought to be a site. So I came home that night and went to Network Solutions and got the domain name. PenaltyCards.com was available. PenaltyCard.com was taken, and it looks like a significantly less enjoyable site than Penalty Cards, so make sure you go to Penalty Cards. I don't feel too bad about recommending it because it's not like it's a pay site. It's not like I make any money on it, but it is a fun way to give people penalty cards, and I think the world needs more penalty cards. So I've created a site to do that. So give it a shot. I believe I may have. I don't know if I've carded you yet or not. No, I may have done that. But
I got a green card.
You got a green card.
I don't think I got an instant death card though. Nobody's trying to burn me over cats yet, but it's just a matter of time. To be honest, it will come.
Yeah, but it can be a thing. You can go ahead and it's easy, it's free, you can card people, and I think every once in a while it's a nice way to express. And because while I could, and I'd like all the listeners to know, I could have hand coded the site in HTML. I chose for speed, since I decided to build it the night I thought of it, to use the fine website editing software that Network Solutions gives you, which is fairly limited, but it does the job, and let you stamp in the social sharing stuff and all that. And the little social sharing module it has isn't bad. Like I said, particularly with Facebook, it's a little iffy for me on Twitter because it doesn't look like it autofills your name, and that's kind of a pain. But overall, it's pretty well. So if someone has treated you well, or someone has not treated you well, or someone deserves to be burned on a stack of wood with cats, you have a card you can give them. So there.
Yes, and if we all go run over there, we start penalty carding everyone. Maybe then we can pressure Kelly into giving us cards like Sharktopus cards or Piranaconda cards or something of that nature. We can start suggesting cards to Kelly.
That would be, yes, very, very open to that. You can follow Penalty Cards on Twitter at Penalty Cards, at Penalty Cards. Currently has one follower, just so you know. I haven't exactly done a lot with the Twitter thing yet, but good friend from Bad Science Fiction movie watching, Geek Aaron, has been nice enough to be the sole follower of PenaltyCards.com.
Yay, Aaron!
But it's not like there's been a lot of tweets coming from it yet. But
no, I didn't. I didn't know there was a Twitter account yet.
Yeah, it's kind of a secret. It's maybe not the idea for Twitter is for it to be a secret, but so we'll work on that. It is mentioned in the About Us tab on the PenaltyCards.com site, but we'll do that. So maybe maybe I should make that my Twitter recommendation, but see if we can gin up the followers. But nope. So take a look at it. I think it's kind of fun to card people, and it's available for your use at the low price of free. So there you go.
Free is good. We always like free. All right. So in addition to Kelly's at Penalty Cards social media recommendation, it's time for the rest of our social media recommendations. Mine this week is a lovely woman by the name of at Eridani 99, and that is ERIDANI 99. And her name is Lori, and she is a moderator, I believe, over at IO9, which is one of Kelly's previous recommendations. A very good one, by the way. And she describes herself as a computer geek, gamer girl, part-time blogger, IO9 moderator, gadget lover, and novice cookie mancer. I have been following her for quite a while, and I always find her tweets to be very amusing and witty. She likes books. She likes gaming. In fact, her avatar is Liara from Mass Effect. So I think y'all will like her if you like geek stuff. She usually during the day has some very amusing tweets about her job. She has coded people, and they have nice little pet names, which she uses to talk about them on Twitter during the day. So that's at Eridani99. Go check her out. She's way into book-related things as well, and gaming, and computer stuff. And recently she was tweeting pictures, live tweeting her new computer build, which I liked. It was funny. So anyway, check out at Eridani99. I think y'all will like her.
Sounds like both of you need to go to PenaltyCards.com and start giving those coworkers penalty cards.
I wish. My coworkers are not on Twitter. They're on Facebook. I'm not making a judgment.
PenaltyCards.com integrates with Facebook, so you can.
But I don't integrate with Facebook. That's the problem.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's the hole in the plan. That and the one Twitter follower. So okay. So I wussed out. I had a recommendation I was going to give, but I think when I give it, I'm going to make Mel grumpy. So I'm going to save it for another day when I want to make Mel grumpy. And I'm going to go with another one that actually is likely a better recommendation. So you guys traded up and you didn't even know it. Outside of PenaltyCards.com, which would be a great follow, of course, what I'm going to recommend is Visual Las Vegas. VisualLasVegas. So Visual Las Vegas. It is, shockingly enough, photos of Las Vegas, but really well done photos, a lot of black and white, a lot of really clever composed, and it looks like a guy who's a pretty darn good photographer that on a regular basis goes kind of through a city that has many interesting things to take photographs of, and you get some just really striking photography. Well done, composed, and then just other interesting thing like men boxing on Fremont Street, which when they actually had a boxing match on Fremont Street in downtown Vegas, and they've got just a shot of the crowd and all that stuff. So it's cool black and white stuff. There's color things. The individual's a very talented artist, and it's just kind of cool to see some of the photos. So Visual Las Vegas, a little bit of eye candy for you. It's pretty fun, and a recommendation sure not to irritate Mel. So, as opposed to the other one.
I've flown through Las Vegas. That's sad. My only trip to Las Vegas I spent in the airport.
Well, there's slot machines there. Oh.
There was, but I was broke because I'd been in Reno.
Oh, there you go. That'll do it to you.
It's funny that on my way back to Texas from Reno, I had a layover in Vegas. Odd, but
that is odd.
Happened. Yes, I don't remember what it was. It was also in the middle of the night. And talk about Mel being grumpy. She was very grumpy. So I did not play any of the slot machines in the airport in Vegas. I do need to go sometime during the day, though. That would be interesting.
It's an interesting place. in small doses, can be pretty fun. I don't recommend a sustained stay because it crushes your soul. I think if you stay there too long, you can only pass so many people on oxygen tanks and scooters rolling up to the next slot machine to go. Really?
Definitely warp you. Yeah.
There's a darkness to that.
I'm not much of a gambler. I'm a play it safe girl. I like easy. Yeah. I don't gamble very much.
Yeah, they've gotten smart and they make a lot of the penny slots now almost more of a video game. So there's like a big entertainment feature to it and all those types of things. So that you can that way you can slow the flow of money out of your pocket too, because the denominations are a little smaller. But
that would work for me.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
I like video games, so I could do that.
They've got some good Star Wars ones that are those are when I am there, I seek out the casino that has Star Wars slot machines because those are pretty fun. So
I will have to keep that in mind. I will check those out when we go. Cool.
Very cool. Well, I think we've got our social recommendations and the other ones as well. So I think that wraps it up for today.
I think it does. It is time for Matt Shivers to take it away.
You can contact us on our website, nurtureandsupport.net, or email us at nurtandsupp@gmail.com. That's NURTANDSUPP@gmail.com. Or tweet us at nurtandsupp on Twitter.
Nurturing and supporting.